Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today is the mystery box video. This is hosted by Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. If you guys want to know who I sent my box to, I sent it to Val from Auntie Cuckoo, and Jay Money sent me my box. So we're gonna open it and see what is inside. There's also always a twist to every single mystery box challenge, and we just had to give back. Is something that I think we all should do during the holidays. Give back this year, I decided to give back to everyone who watches me on YouTube. I am so grateful for you all, and I've already started my giveaways, and I will be doing one every Friday up until the week before Christmas. So make sure you follow my community tab. It is linked at the top of my channel. All right, so we're going to open this and see what is inside. I cannot wait. The first thing is a letter. My dearest Kristen, due to an overwhelming amount of inside jokes, I will be emailing your real note. Don't read that one on camera. Enjoy your box. Love always, Jay. There's so many things I want to say right now. I'm not going to, but I'm laughing. Okay, so this is what the inside looks like. Let's check it out. Oh, let's check it out. I keep moving the camera around. I almost tipped it over. Mystery box items. I think this is a ball. This one might not be too bad. All right, we have a softball. Squishy though, so this one might be okay. This one's okay. This one's all right. Don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's okay. This one is not okay. This one is not okay. It is a baby bathtub. Really? A baby bathtub. All right, we'll figure something out with that. Next thing, a bottle brush tree, nutcracker, which I am absolutely terrified. I do not like nutcrackers, so maybe we'll make it into something else. But the color is really pretty. So that pink color, that's actually really pretty. I like that. So this was an anything goes box, so we could purchase items from anywhere we wanted to. A smooth finish coating. I have no idea what this is. We're gonna try this out. This is gonna be something different to do, so that's kind of exciting. I have this really cute pink house, a fat quarter of buffalo check. We have a Halloween lantern. That's cute. Some jot glue. All right. Also have some binoculars. I feel like this should have been a mystery item or a challenge item, but all right. She kind of gave me some tricky stuff. I'm really gonna have to think on this for sure. Another little house. Those are super cute, and these are like really nice. And the last thing is a Forever Bright Sensor owl light. Okay, gosh, okay, this is a little bit bigger than I thought it would be. That's really cute. Actually, I really like this. I think I actually have a fun idea for this. But okay, that is what was in my box. So let's get into creating with these challenge items. I decided to jump in with one of the challenge items with this softball. So I just went in and painted it black with the Waverly Chalk Paint ink. It only took one coat because we're going to be covering that eventually anyways. I just did not want any yellow seeping through. This decorative filler you can pick up at Dollar Tree. I had some of this, and I ended up adding some jingle bells into this as well and making just a really cute ornament. So I used the pine cones, everything that had to do that was in the filler, and these bells that were also from Dollar Tree. So I just showed half of this putting together because I'm sure you do not want to keep watching me add pine cones to a ball. But when I was halfway done, I did decide just to add some twine to the top so then I could hang it and then kind of cover up that twine just a little bit with the other side of the filler. The DIY was actually pretty simple to work with, especially it being a ball, but I think this looks so cute on my tree. Next one, I'm be using the houses. I loved these. I wanted to paint them white to start with, and then I ended up going in and repainting over the top of this. I thought that they would look super cute black. So I did leave that really pretty stone at the top because I just thought that was really nice and it looked good with the black. And then once that was painted, I decided to add a wreath. I had these really cute wreaths from Hobby Lobby. They were in like the little ornament section, and I decided to glue each one of these to the top. Then the last thing I did was just fill these with some greenery and berries. Please do not mind my voice. I have been sick lately, so my voice is going in and out. I can't stop coughing. So this is what you're going to get from my voiceover is sick little Kristen. Next, a DIY, I decided to paint this owl white. So I really liked this solar light. I thought this was going to be really cute on a wreath because you could just zip tie that little branch at the bottom onto a wreath. So that is what I ended up doing. So I did a couple coats of white on this owl. I think it might have took actually 3. And then I'm just going to be dry brushing it with the Waverly Antique Wax. And then once that was done, I just decided to add it to a wreath I picked up at a yard sale. Wreath was actually brand new when I picked it up at the yard sale. It was $2, but I love how full this is, and it did have lights on it, so if I wanted to turn those on, but I am not a really good light person, so if I did have lights around the house to turn on, they more than likely would not be. So I kept those off, but I just took a zip tie and zip tied the owl, and then I just ended up shoving some berries into this just to make it a little more decorative, and the berries came from Target a couple years ago, and I just really liked them. They were only a couple dollars after Christmas. And then just to top this off, I decided to add a bow to the owl. The baby bathtub. So my youngest daughter, she took the little soap and the duck from this, and I was like, I'm not going to use those. You could totally have those. She loves playing babies and things like that. So she was kind of upset that I was going to be tearing this apart, so I made sure to do it when she was at school. So the bottom of the bathtub kind of looked like the shape of a door. So I grabbed my tin snips and I just cut around this. I wasn't sure if it was going to work because obviously I'm cutting plastic here, so the plastic kept cracking, but we made do with the bottom. So like I said, shaped like a door. We're going to make this a door for a house. It is absolutely real life, just how messy it was and how many pieces I actually had to cut. So I did not have any large wood pieces, but I did have these 2 signs from Dollar Tree, one that says love and one that says home. I did take the wreaths off because I could just reuse those for something else, but we're going to be making a house. So I grabbed my ruler. I'm going to be just making some lines to cut just to make this look more like a house. I'm using both of these signs, and then I did end up measuring just to make sure that the house or the roof part was going to be the same size when I cut them. And then I just went really old school and I'd say a little less professional than what I would normally do if it was warmer outside. I would probably take these outside and cut them with a saw, but I decided to go with my tin snips. And really, this did not have to be perfect because I'm going to be covering this part anyways. And also, the MDF board wasn't really that hard to cut. I do have miter shears. Could not find them for the life of me. I really need to clean my craft room. But I'm just going to be cutting those lines to create a house shape with these pieces. And now that they are cut, I'm just using Waverly chalk paint to paint the MDF boards. And it did take 2 coats to get some good coverage. And once the paint was dry, I just flipped them over, and I had some shims that I purchased a long time ago. You can pick these up really inexpensive at hardware stores or Menards or Lowe's. I have a huge pack of them, and I'm just gluing this to the middle just to make sure this stays in place and actually looks like a house when I flip it back over. Two more shims because I'm making this into the roof. So I did end up gluing these down and then cutting them to size. I wasn't sure how long I wanted them, so I just kind of wanted them glued on first, and then I could cut when finished. Of course, I'm just using my tin snip. So again, this probably wasn't the easiest to use tin snips. Like I said, miter shears probably would have worked way better, but I made it work eventually. So did not show that on camera because I was definitely struggling a little bit. Now I'm just using the Waverly chalk paint ink to paint the roof. I'll be using some scrapbook paper. This came from Hobby Lobby at 60% off, the $5.99. I decided to start with this black color of the scrapbook paper. I thought it was really pretty. It would match the roof. And then I ended up actually changing my mind because I wanted this to be a little more merrier, a little more Christmassy. So I ended up tracing that, gluing it, and then changing my mind and using a different color scrapbook paper. But I used a piece of the shim because the bottom of the bathtub I wasn't able to actually like glue the scrapbook paper to the baby bathtub bottom because it was just way too low and dippy. Is that even, can we call it dippy? So I added a shim so I would be able to actually glue the scrapbook paper to this piece. Since the scrapbook paper would only be glued to the shim, I decided to paint the edges. So I didn't paint every part of this blue, but I wanted to paint everything that would possibly show through. So that is what I am doing now. So I just took my hot glue gun and glued that scrapbook piece. I was going to make windows, so you're going to see that I have popsicle sticks next. I did not end up using those, so it was just some time wasted painting popsicle sticks. A half wood bead for the knob of the door, and then I decided to use a Chalk Couture transfer because I kind of wanted this house to say something on it. So this says welcome to our home, and I think this one turned out so cute. I decided to add that wreath back that was on the back side of these signs to the top, added some berries to make it look more Christmassy. What the door looked like black, but once I saw it all together, I was like, it really needs a different color scrapbook paper, so I decided to go with the red color instead. What it looks like when it is done. I love this one, and I cannot believe that I used a part of a doll bathtub set to make this. What do you guys think? DIY, I'll be using that Halloween lantern and then that fat quarter of that buffalo check fabric. And then I'm just going to be laying the fabric on top of this lantern. I wasn't really sure how I could get those pumpkins out of there unless I covered them with something. So my first thought was scrap of paper, but then I remembered I had that fabric from the box. So let's use it. It is super Christmassy and super cute. I did just ended up kind of rolling it around the lantern, cutting to size when it was all done. And then some of the orange was showing through, so I just ended up painting it black. You cannot even tell. Sure this stuck, so I did put Mod Podge over the top of some of the sides of this until I realized the pumpkins were kind of starting to peek through, so I quit doing that right away. So you're going to see here some of the pumpkins are showing through. Once it dried, it didn't look as bad, but you could still kind of see. So one of the sides I did not do that to at all, because I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to dry? Like, how's this going to look when I'm done? But actually, it looks pretty good when it is done. Painted the top of it black in that Waverly color in ink. So I thought that it definitely needed some sort of middle piece or embellishment, so I decided to just use an ornament. This was from Dollar Tree last year or Dollar General last year, and then I'm just adding a cute little pick with a gingerbread to the top, and then yes, I did do all my touch-ups with that orange, so no worries, we're going to see no orange when this is completely done. Next DIY, I'm just using this sign that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I had some more of that buffalo check fabric, so I really didn't want it to go to waste, and I wanted to use some more of it, so I decided to just add this to the backing of my sign, and then I put it back together. And then of course, I have a ton of ornaments still to use that I had from last year, so I thought, why not just put an ornament in the center of this? I think ornaments really make cute decor pieces. If you don't use them as ornaments, you just cut the little tag off, glue it to the middle, and then I decided to just embellish the top of this bulb with some greenery and berries. This smooth finish coating had a run for my money. It is not like spackle. It's so soft. I tried to actually use it on the houses to start with, and it just doesn't stick. So I'm probably doing this completely wrong, but I had a wooden tree that I'm like, let's give it some texture. I decided to use my finger to spread it, and then eventually it kind of seemed to be working out pretty well. So I just kind of went over it a few times and had it until the texture was exactly how I wanted it on the tree. But I think this one turned out really cool. This was actually fun to use and just something different that I've never used before. So maybe I'm using it wrong. Maybe I'm using it right. We'll never know, but it's technically to fill holes. I obviously was not doing that. I had one of these cute houses from Dollar Tree, and I tried taking that chalkboard piece off the center. It ended up just kind of ruining the whole house. So now I'm having to take the fabric off. This was hard. It was really hard. So since I had to tear it all apart, I decided to use some scrap of paper. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby in a booklet, and then I am just going to be smoothing out it around the edges so I could cut it to size, gluing it in there, and then adding that tree to the center. So I realized that the tree and the scrapbook paper was kind of blending in just a little bit, but there was a couple of red spots on that scrapbook paper, so I decided to just take some red paint and paint the roof of the house, and that is what I did for this. So yes, there was a little bit of red paint on the scrapbook paper. It wasn't coming off. I had to use these binoculars, so I just popped out the lenses. I actually only used one of these lenses because we're going to be making a snowman. So I had some wood pieces of circles. They weren't the size I needed, so I actually had chipboard pieces I picked up at Hobby Lobby on clearance. I think these were 75 cents for a huge pack of them. What were they? $1.24. They weren't 75 cents, $1.24, but I'm going to be making a snowman. Only one, not two. I decided to use another one of these houses from Dollar Tree. I did get the chalkboard piece off the center, but there was a little bit of extra, but I was able to cover it with those little snowman pieces anyway, so it was no big deal. And then I just added a face to this with some acrylic paint markers, added a hat using some wood pieces, and then just a scarf with some leftover ribbon. Also, these arms were actually off of little berry picks that I had that I was not using, so I decided to use what I had in my craft stash to make this a snowman. For this nutcracker, I decided to put him in a glass jar with some fairy lights and some bottle brush trees. So he did not get thrown away. He did not get broken apart. I think he actually looks pretty cute here. But you guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love if you consider sticking around and subscribing. Also, the playlist is in the description box below, so you guys can check out everybody's mystery box videos. But that is it for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye!